What's up, everybody? Bad Gamer popping back in. It's time for Gametography, the show where we talk about games and photography, and we smush them together. Like if you took all the cheese and the meat off of a pizza because you couldn't have the bread, but it was still so delicious, and that's the Gametography show, where we we're gonna take one element away from this, and you're gonna be surprised how good it actually is. Oh my gosh. I am joined today by the one, the only, that one guy. He's that one guy you're like, he's here, and then you're like, wait a second, he's here. Yay! What's up, Dapone?
I don't know about that second part. I really don't know about that second part.
Oh, you know it's true. Dude, you know it's true. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Scooby-Doo. Yeah, man. And we're also waiting for Ben to pop in. Darth Kryptonite in the chat. Arkham Lover 14. He'll be in momentarily. He's having some technical difficulties. But while we're waiting, Dapone, tell us about your week.
You are really curious, aren't you?
I'm very curious.
Because I said it was a good week.
Yes.
So, it wasn't so much a good week as it was a good end of the week after Wednesday. Well, actually, yesterday was a pretty good day. The reason is that I did a new tattoo, Miles Morales, on my inner bicep.
Oh, nice.
On Thursday, and it was the first time that I actually tapped out of a tattoo.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it was so much pain. So I only did the black, and you know that Miles' suit is black, so that's quite a lot part. And the red and the yellows will be on February. And when I say I tapped out, I almost fainted during my tattoo.
Really?
Yeah, at one point my whole body was like in the air because I was in so much pain that I was contorting so much that only my back were in the stretcher, and my whole body was just like in pains, like contorting everywhere. It was like
wow.
Really painful. Yeah, it was like at one point I almost sure that I was hallucinating because the inner bicep, there is a part that is very close to the armpit.
Okay.
And that's one of the most painful parts to tattoo in. And I'm not sure if I will be able to endure the pain to color this. So yeah. But yeah, it was a very good week.
All right.
No, I like the way the tattoo is getting. It's really really cool. I like the one that I previously had from Peter. My tattoo artist said something that has stuck with me even in virtual photography. That is the fun part. What distinguishes Spider-Man from the other heroes is dynamic poses.
Yeah.
And this tattoo artist, the new one that is doing Miles, because I can't do with the old one. He went back to Brazil, so yeah. The new one really respected that, and the design she came up with is very Miles is like Miles is punching the air with his fist involving lightning, and the lightning is going around his body. It's
Ooh.
really, yeah, it's a really cool design. Check Twitter.
Did you post it?
I have it on Twitter. Yeah, I really love the design. So above the pain, I think going good. And on Friday, so yesterday, I received the news that my photos from Play Avengers, my collaboration between Play Avengers and Who Shoot Spider-Man, they posted the first batch of pictures.
Okay.
And that was really cool. Aside from the sorry, I will curse, the fucking spoiler that I got for No Way Home. Yeah, because someone thought it was a good idea to comment a spoiler when I'm tagged. So yeah, thank you random person of the internet that didn't ruin that for anyone but me.
There it is, you guys. Like I saw, I did see No Way Home yesterday, but I'll talk about that in a little bit.
We are not talking about it.
Oh no, just briefly, just briefly.
I don't want to know if you like it. I don't want to know if you hated it. I don't want to know.
All right.
You saw it. That's nice. I'm happy for you. Don't say anything about it. So yeah.
I got
then
4 words. 4 words.
No Way Home. That's only 3.
No. You are not ready.
Oh no, no one. No one.
That's my review. You are not ready.
No one is ready, right?
No.
That's the whole. Okay. Then my collaboration. I also received the news that I'm going to get a review copy. I already got it, and I'm already playing it, of God of War on PC.
All right.
I'm doing that for a Portuguese brand called 8 bits, so 8 bits.
Okay.
In English, and yeah, that's going to be awesome. And so imagine this. Imagine that you get the news that you will be talking in a panel about video games, and in that panel there are some, I want to say, B-list celebrities, C-list celebrities, and you see your name, like Ruben.com.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I received the news yesterday that that's happening, and I saw the poster, and I was like, oh, this is so unreal.
Oh, that's so good, dude.
So unreal.
That's so good.
So yeah, that was my week.
Nerd Sounds, yes, calling page jam. I got some, I got a new technique, and I'm testing it out. Does it work? Do you like it? Is it working? And while I wait for your answer, Benny Boy!
Hello.
Hey.
It's I.
How you doing, man?
I'm still alive.
We were worried.
Benny,
What?
please, I don't know if you can do this, but lower the sound of your mic just a bit, please.
Yeah, 1 second.
Here we go.
How's that?
Yeah, better. Thank you. Sorry. It was really
worries.
loud. I don't know if it was me or Lam also felt it, but it was really like extremely loud.
It's
because I have to use my phone this week. All my other devices are not feeling like working, so it's like,
Aw.
all right, we're doing Discord on a phone. Let's go. And so I haven't balanced it on here.
that's all right.
But
We
yeah, no
understand.
worries.
Maybe it's saved. Shoot. All right, Ben, your week. Tell
Yeah.
us.
Let's see, what did I do this week? To be honest, it was kind of a boring week. I didn't really do a whole lot.
Really, really.
Yeah, really. I mean, besides work, but nothing really noteworthy there. It was like, hey, there's snow, go shovel snow. And so that's... It's nothing exciting, it's just
the
repetitive. But, there was a few birthdays, I guess, like little, like family birthdays and some friends' birthdays, but yeah, other than that, like, actually, I guess there's something that happened this last week. So, as you all know, other than maybe Dot, I don't know if we've been on a show where I've talked about this, but, I was in a car accident. They totaled out my car, and, last Saturday, I picked up a new car.
Whoa, what'd you get?
That's nice.
Yeah, what'd I get?
Yeah.
I got a 2018 Mazda CX-5.
Oh, so one of them little
Yeah.
fancy little cars, sports car drag racing. I'm going to be in the Need for Speed.
No, it's a compact SUV. I mean, it's still a little zippy, so it could be like confused for a sports car.
You could be that that getaway driver. Hey, nerd sounds. Okay, guys. Yeah. You know what we gotta do. I'm sorry to interrupt. Nerd Sounds just gifted a sub to Paul.
Ah, it's a sub song.
So we only stop the songs, the show for sub songs and raid songs. But they're short. This is the sub song. It's not very long.
I love
Thank
that Discord
you.
puts you out like half the time with your songs.
Oh, bummer.
So I'll always hear like half the song, and I'm like, I think he's about here on the song. And then I'll hear it end, and I'm like, okay, yeah.
Awesome. Hey.
Because of the sound spikes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Discord's like, and you're done. Grounded.
I got just a couple of shout outs here real quick. I see my stream medic just popped in. Zoltar, yes, I did exercise today. Meds come tonight. I am drinking water. And then Innocent Cannibal is here. What's up, Cat? Good to see you. Flowery's here. Hey, Dark. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. So, all right. Continue on, sir. What'd you play?
So yeah, I got the car, and then I ended up catching up on the Game Awards, which, boy howdy, like there was some bangers there. Like
Some surprises.
some surprises as well, which I'm sure we'll get to later. But anyway, like catching up with what happened at the Game Awards this week. And then I ended up playing that Matrix Unreal 5 engine
Oh, yeah.
tech demo, and she's pretty. She's very pretty. And I don't know if either of you have played it yet, but it does kind of have a photo mode.
I've heard. Tell us a little bit about it.
So basically you go through like the basics of like the demo, where it's like, oh hey look, here's how shooting feels, here's how this feels, that. And then eventually it spits you out into an open world where you can run around, and you can go to these orange dots on there, and like there's things like the jump park where it's like, here's a bunch of cars, drive them off of ramps, go have fun. and things like that. But at any time you can push triangle, change your character to fly, which basically just turns them into the camera in photo mode, and then you just push the square button after that, and it hides the UI. That's the word I'm looking for. And so then you can take some pictures from there, and
So basically, you turn into a superhero, but photo mode. Photo mode, the superhero.
the game. They're starting to realize the power of SVPs. They better watch out.
Yep.
Just saying, that is our superpower. Why the butt?
Exactly. So, tried that out. I honestly, it's very, very impressive with what they've done with it, because they've recreated a lot of scenes from the original game in that like opening video, and they're all made in engine. I believe they do have Keanu and it's Carrie-Anne Moss, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so they have both of them in it, and they, like, if they're not, like, if they are animated in this, like, starting in it, in the video presentation, I would be surprised and astounded, and I'd be like, this is the peak of technology. We literally can't do better than this.
It is captured. It's not them. It's like it's in-game graphics.
At the very, very beginning, where Keanu and talking to us.
I think there are like 5 seconds that are them in real life, and to prove that the graphics are that good, I would have to read more on this. But I believe it is because they wanted to show that the graphics are that good. The first 5 seconds or 10 seconds, something like that, they are like video of them talking, and then turns into video game graphics, and the transition is very seamless.
Oh yeah, it's impeccable. Like you see an older Keanu standing next to younger Keanu, and you're like, oh wow. And like things like that, like there's things where like they're standing next to their counterpart from the '99 movie, and you're like, you look too good to stop it. And then there's other times where like Keanu's walking in this presentation, and then it switches to Carrie-Anne Moss, and then it switches to both of them, then it switches into random people, and you're just like, oh. But
the character that they gave you to play, the Niobe-looking character.
She does look like Niobe, doesn't she?
Yeah, it sure looks a lot like Niobe. I thought, like, because Niobe is the protagonist of the first game, I thought that she was Niobe until someone told me that she wasn't, and it's a weird choice to make her look so much like Niobe and not be Niobe.
Yeah, I thought so too, but like they look good as well. Like everyone in this game looks amazing.
I would love to know the actress that plays that character is, and see if she looks like I wanna say Will Smith's wife. It's Niobe.
Jada Pinkett?
Yeah, she is Niobe, yeah. And I want to see if the actress in real life that plays that new character looks like Niobe, or is just a stylistic choice for this game. Because there is that in the new Matrix, the guy that they made him look like Morpheus. So they are like recasting characters in younger bodies, and I think that's part of the whole Matrix thing.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, the Matrix is the series to do it with, because
Yeah, you can do it.
Yeah, you can just be like, oh, that was just someone's old avatar. Here's the new one.
Yeah. Do you know Switch in the first game in the first movie? The lady that is blonde.
Yeah.
She was supposed to be a trans character, so she was supposed to be
Yeah.
a guy in like the real world and a girl in the Matrix.
Which,
Because in the
knowing
way-
the Wachowskis,
Yeah,
that makes sense.
yeah. The thing was at the time no one wanted that, so it was scrapped. But yeah, that character, it would be really cool because in the Matrix you can be whatever you want. That's
Right.
the beauty of it.
Yeah. But yeah, so I played that. I don't know if you guys touched it, but I did that Kid Ape Amnesia
Oh,
I
yeah,
think,
yeah, yeah.
from Radiohead and Epic Games, and I'll be real with you guys. I was too sober for this experience. Like, so my girlfriend and I, we tried the Matrix demo together, and then immediately after that, we're like, yeah, let's try out that Radiohead thing. We like the song Creep. So
That's all I know of Radiohead, to be honest.
Really? You uncultured swine.
I mean, I listened to other things other than Creep, but I'm just for the humor, we're just wording it this way. And so, you know, we're going through and all that, and I don't know why I was expecting anything different, but I'm like going through this, and I'm like, you know, this has got some pretty good horror vibes going.
That's what I. That's
Like,
that.
surrealist horror?
I did not get far because that's what I thought it was.
It's not. I mean, there's one spot where it genuinely scared me.
It's not, but it is.
Yeah.
It's like what's that game? There is a game that came out recently like that. We talked about it in the show. Oh, I can't remember the name, but there is a game that reminded me of. Like, it's not a scary game, but it's not a land
It
game.
scares me. Battlefield.
Shut up.
Roasted.
Yeah, maybe because of all the bugs, but
Yeah, you see all those bugs? Terrifying. But, like, so have you gone through it all the way, Dot?
no, I haven't played it yet. That and
Oh.
the Matrix one, I haven't touched them. I'm not a fan of short experience, like experience, like tech demos,
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
That are like just like experience instead of a full game.
Yeah.
I'm not really a fan of those.
I'll be honest with you, I spent
Little water
we
ASMR.
spent about 2 hours with the Matrix one just because, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you as well, the car collision in the Matrix one.
Oh, it's crazy.
It's a little weird. So you can be going like 120 and just like you just turn into a wedge and you're just throwing cars. It doesn't break your car to the point of stopping, but you're still just going.
I might try it on stream later. Like also the release of the movie is like the 20
Second,
something second.
please
Yeah.
here in America.
I might like test it out this week on stream because I'm almost done with Miles.
And then, are you a bigger Radiohead fan?
Yeah, definitely.
So-
More than knowing about Creed.
So, like, I'm pretty sure I listened to the entirety of Kid A and Amnesia in my course of going through, and like, it's not like they play their music constantly. It's not like they're like, okay, while you're just walking along randomly, you're listening to Creep, for Kid A or whatever, it's like you go into these certain spots and then certain songs will start to play in those areas. And I'm pretty sure I've listened to at least like 70% of the album for Kid A. I'm not quite sure. It's been a long time since I've sat down and listened to it, but from what I remember, about 70%. But yeah, like there was one time that because like you can kind of move around in these rooms as things are going, and I was just moving around a room, kind of watching something, and suddenly like I was supposed to be standing in the center of the room, and so where I was standing, something popped in, like appeared to be like, oh hey look, I'm the new thing, and it almost killed me.
That's so not for Lamb.
Yeah, that's totally not for me.
Like that single premise, it's not for Lamb.
Nope.
Well, I mean, the thing is, like, if you're sitting in the center of it, it looks artistic and it looks good. But, like, if you move through it, you're just like, oh no, oh no, I made mistakes. I strayed from the path of God. I've been damned to hell for my choices.
Yep, that would be me.
That would be me. But yeah, probably not a Lem experience, but especially if you're a big Radiohead fan, I think it's worth the walkthrough at least, and seeing the things that they're able to do while you're watching, and like still it's rendering everything in time.
And that's a separate experience from anything, right? Like that's like you that's not in another game. That's a totally separate experience.
Yeah, it's its own separate experience.
Because I know,
and it's also free.
I know by doing it, I think I got a sound for it in Fortnite.
Wouldn't surprise
Talk
me.
about the new season of Fortnite and how they are like again, like when their numbers went down a bit, and now they are up again because of a single skin.
Spider-Man. Actually, it's good.
Spider-Man.
2 skins, because they had the Spider-Man No Way Home skin and the classic Spider-Man skin. And the classic Spider-Man skin has two variants. The symbiote skin and the white spider. What's it called?
Future Foundation?
Future Foundation.
Yeah, Future Foundation. Which,
completely random aside, but I think you guys are nerdy enough to walk on this path with me. I just found out today that the guy that's been directing the Spider-Man movies for the MCU is in charge of doing their Fantastic Four. He's like Mark.
I ain't mad at it.
John Watts and
John Watts.
I'm not mad at it. Yes, that is Dot Pone. By the way, Dot Pone, you've been called out in chat.
Sorry, I have to. I'm not in I'm playing Spider-Man. Sorry. I'm not happy with that decision.
No? Why is that?
So, let's try to not give any opinions about No Way Home, please, at all. I don't want to hear it. Let's pretend that it doesn't exist, that the last time that we saw Spidey was in Far From Home, okay?
Yeah.
I don't like his direction for Spider-Man. Like, John Watts' direction for Spider-Man, it's not like, he doesn't understand, he understands like teen movies in the same vein as, I want to say, Ferris Bueller, but he doesn't understand Spider-Man as a character. If you go back and you watch Civil War, Endgame, and Infinity War, those
Don't say anything in chat, guys. Don't say anything in chat. We're trying not to spoil it for him.
Those sections are so Spider-Man. And then you go and watch Homecoming. There are some hints of Peter Parker, like the classic Peter Parker from the comics, that but not that much, is basically Iron Man Junior boy. And I
Iron Man Jr.
and I know most people don't agree with this statement, but he kinda is in that movie. In Far From Home, I just don't like that every single villain is like, he doesn't have his own villain. Every villain has a beef with someone else. Like in the first movie, Vulture is a villain because of Tony Stark. In the second movie, I don't know, let's make Mysterio be a villain because of who? Oh, Tony Stark.
Right.
I don't like that. Like Spidey, each of the villains of Spidey are like really personal. Just go and watch Spider-Man 2. Doctor Octopus is very like close to Peter. Green Goblin is very close in the first movie. And let's shut up about Spider-Man, please.
Alright, here's the thing. That Pone, I
Yeah.
fully agree with you.
I'm afraid of what he will do to Fantastic Four, because let's be honest, Fantastic Four in the movies didn't have the best of luck.
Never have.
Yeah, and I'm really afraid. We deserve, like, Fantastic Four are amazing. They were the comics where they used to introduce characters for a reason. It wasn't random. They really were great characters. And for most people, Sue Storm is Jessica Alba. So the only thing she does is she's hot as fuck.
Language!
But Sue Storm is so much more than like being a pretty lady. And Reed Richards is so complex. Such a great character.
But what you have to remember is
So that just cut out.
what?
What? What?
I think you're good, buddy.
Ben?
I think he's on. We might have
Yeah.
lost him.
We lost Ben.
Well, let
I'm
me-
so glad we don't call him Uncle.
I was gonna say, well, on the subject of Spider-Man, we
That's another thing. Like,
We lost Ben.
I don't know if there is a reference to him in No Way Home or not. I will find out tomorrow. But how can you do 2 Spider-Man movies, make him appear in 3 other movies, and not mention Uncle Ben? Like at all. There's no mention of
Uncle Ben was the catalyst for
With great power comes great responsibility.
absolutely.
If you have the power to stop something and you don't stop it, and that thing happens, it's your fault. That's Uncle Ben. That's Peter Parker. That's Spider-Man, and that is a lesson that Uncle Ben taught him by dying. Yeah, it's not the most important, like, mentor role, because he's barely in the comics and he's barely in the movies, but his presence is so much felt in the first trilogy.
Yep, I fully agree with you, 100%.
Problem. I have a problem with that.
You are not wrong, sir.
And that's John Watt's decision. So what will he not include in Fantastic Four? Will we have Fantastic Four without a thing? Will we have Fantastic Four without Sue and Johnny being brothers?
We had that.
Fun fact, it's just going to be 4 versions of the Fantastic Four movie from 2015. It's just going to be 4 sets of all those guys again.
I would love that. I actually really enjoy those movies, like, as guilty pleasures, as I know they are bad, but they are so good because they are bad.
Okay, for a second I thought you were going to say that they were like actually good movies, like genuinely good, and I'm like, Dot, do we disagree on like everything movie-wise.
Okay, we want to agree to disagree with me. Johnny Storm is perfect in those movies. Johnny Storm is what Johnny Storm is supposed to be in those movies, and that's what the proof of that is that they cast him as Captain America after those awful movies. Like everything in those movies is trash. Johnny Storm is perfect, spot on.
I mean,
what Johnny Storm
That's
must be.
because that's Chris Evans, and that's not. I don't feel like that's really entirely due to what they gave him to work with. I think it's just Chris Evans is an amazing actor who can pull things out of his butt, we'll say, sometimes. And he's like, this is the best I can do with what you gave me.
Yeah, but
And
but if you go and read like the original Fantastic Four run, Johnny Storm is very much the hot guy that has a few jokes. He
Oh, I know.
is
Yeah.
he is that character. He was really like the jokes maybe weren't that good, but at the time we didn't know better. We thought that was funny. Him
Yeah.
like sexually harassing nurses was funny. Nowadays that wouldn't fly. But those scenes are genuinely funny. Like his delivery, that's what Johnny Storm would do
Yeah.
in real life.
Yeah. And I agree with you though that like was the best movies. But I was actually talking about the 2015 one with Michael B. Jordan
Oh,
as
for Plastic Four.
Human Torch.
For,
Yeah,
oh.
Fantastic Four. That was the one I was talking about, where the new John Watts is going to be just four groups of that team over and over again.
No.
You're trapped in this. You can't get out, Dot.
No.
There's no escape.
But I think the Fantastic Four movie will be the Avengers of Phase 1. So if you go right now and look at Marvel's schedule for Phase 4, the last project is Fantastic Four. So if you go back and watch Phase 1, not counting with the shows, you will notice that they are basically doing the same thing. Like introducing characters and then have a big team up movie. That's basically what they did.
I think that we're gonna see a decent team up in Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange, and we will see a very good team up in Marvels.
Yeah.
The Marvels, it's a project that many people aren't excited about.
Oh, I'm so excited for that one, dude.
Have you seen the leaked Kamala Khan
I think I have.
costume?
I think I have. I am crazy excited for that.
Yeah, but not many people are.
Understandable.
Disappointing.
Is it understandable?
It's disappointing,
I
is
mean-
what it is.
It's the internet. Are you surprised by that? That people are like, oh, hey this, hey that.
No, I'm not surprised, but I don't think it's understandable. The only reason they are hating is because of Brie Larson being woke as
Quote unquote woke, yeah.
yeah. So that's why people are hating, because like in her speeches, acceptance speeches, she's always feminine, like really feminist. So yeah, that's the reason why people are hating, and that's not a at least for me, it's not like a legit reason to hate a movie
Yeah.
before it even comes out.
Exactly.
It's not surprising, but it's not understandable.
You guys, I think I'm getting this comic book thing down. Nice.
So Lem, how was your week?
And we're 5 minutes early even.
All right, whatever.
No, keep going. No, keep going on your week.
No, I'm pretty sure that was it, actually. I don't know if I talked about it last week.
Was
but,
it really it?
I mean, if I didn't say this last week, then no, there's something I forgot. But I ended up getting platinums for Hellblade and a couple others. I'm spacing right now.
Good.
But I got platinums.
The platinum for Hellblade. I got it. Like I played through the game twice. Got every single of those like shrines that you have to unlock.
Yeah, those lore stones.
Yeah. And then at the very end of my second playthrough, I noticed that I forgot one right in the middle of the game.
Oh, dude.
No.
So I had to go through and play the game again just for that. But the thing is, it's a game that you can. I lost every track of time, how much time a game needs to be like finished once I started with Gametography, and that game is very short, like really short. I had no idea that game was so short.
It is, but also it's like heavy and hard to get through. Cause like sometimes we're like some of the voices and things like that are it's like, oh,
Yeah.
Well, that feels a little too real right now. Can you back off, please?
Can we not do that?
I feel like I'm starting
Is that
to
a thing we
I feel
cannot
like I'm
do?
getting psychosis now, and I don't need another mental illness. Thank you, please.
That trailer for the second one is very
my
heavy.
goodness.
I didn't even look at it. I haven't finished the first one.
It's very heavy. The trailer for the second one is it's something else. Like in terms of things that are said against Senua by clearly her head, it's very fun.
I just remember the second platinum trophy though. It was Astros because I went back and I'm like, hey man, I could use more happiness in my life after getting that Hellblade one. So I went and finished up the one for Astros and yeah. So we platinumed that game. That was fun and adorable. Which also leads me to a completely different side topic that we need to talk about. But go ahead and say what you're going to say, Doc.
That's a very good mentality, like going from Hellblade to Astros. It was a very wise decision for your psyche.
Oh, yeah, I agree. And that's what I try to do is like if I know I have a heavy game coming up that I love, that I want a platinum, I'll pair it with another game that I'll play that's lighter, so that way I can kind of balance it. Like when I was playing, because when I was playing Last of Us, Part 2,
It's a happy-go-lucky game.
I didn't play that as a happy-go-lucky game. I played that as the sad game.
Oh really?
I then proceeded to only play DMC5 with it because that game makes me insanely happy.
I get it. I don't like the MC5, but I get it.
Yeah, but yeah. So, well, my big complaint is that I was about to get into though, is why can't I take my PS5 save and bring it over to my PS4?
Yeah.
So, I can do that from PS4 to PS5, like migrating saves from, let's say, Avengers, or Ghost of Tsushima, or insert other game here, like Guardians.
Right.
As well, Guardians of the Galaxy. And so it's like, I have all these games that I want to play on PS5, but I'm downloading the PS4 versions first, so I can get all the trophies there and then bring it over.
Yeah.
Or I'm just full going on that PS4 Platinum. Because it's like, man, I don't want to have to play this entire game twice. Or in the case of things like miles where it asks you to do it twice for the platinum.
That's 4
like
games.
play the game through twice. I'm playing the game 4 times. And
Yeah, but why
granted, miles
would
is
you?
smaller and I love it. But
why-
also
Why would you want to have that platinum in both consoles? You can just have it once on your like trophy list, and that's it. No.
because it's there. You need the shiny.
They okay, but unless you are like you and have that be like, if it's there, I want to complete it. You can actually play PS5 games on the PS4 via remote play.
That's true. But that still pops the PS5.
Yeah,
Correct?
yeah, exactly. What I'm saying is, if you don't have like that completionist thing, you can actually work around it and have your PS5 games run on the PS4. Which
I
is
just
amazing.
it is like I do like that, but I'm just saying like another example of this problem was there was a time where my girlfriend and I weren't living at the same place, but you know, I'd be over often enough that she's like, "Hey, do you want to play a game?" And it's like we were going through Near Replicant, so we played a little bit at my place, and we played a little bit at her place. And so if there was a PS5 version of that game, and let's say we started playing the game that way, I wouldn't be able to take that save and send it over to her PS4 Pro. I would just have to start over there as well. So
Yeah, but you could, like I said, remote play and have it that way. You just had to log in into your account.
true, but I'm just wondering why, especially when Xbox has proven it's so easy to do. Why is it this way?
I honestly think there is something about the architecture of the PS5 that screw them in terms of like smart delivery and
Yeah.
what's the technology that they had that you can switch
Quick
video
resume
games
where
with-
you can switch
Wait,
between
yeah.
games.
quick resume. I'm sure that somehow they really screwed the pooch on the PS5 architecture there,
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
'cause, like,
they can't do it because if they could, they would already have done it.
oh, I know, and it's just it feels like a mass oversight. And
Oh yeah.
because I was thinking about it, it's been a little over a year since we all got our fives, and we were blessed by the
Wait, you are
by the overlords. Get on my level, bro.
I also have a PS5, but I got mine in like January.
No, that's true. But so I guess it's been a year since the PS5 was released, and the Xbox Series X was released, and I was thinking about it just barely because, like, my sister, my girlfriend's sister, has an Xbox Series X, and you know, we were talking about it and all that, and I was just kind of like, huh. Like, some of these things that they have that we don't, and some things that we have that they don't, and I'm like, just kind of doing like an overall like end of year assessment kind of thing.
Shamal, we're not talking No Way Home because there's some that haven't seen it and they want zero spoilers. Zero.
I have not seen it. Yeah,
So
Bob doesn't care. You can message him privately about it.
you son of
And that's how I get kicked from the Gametography.
your your girlfriend's sister, what English
Yeah.
words? She made the wise decision to get the the Xbox. Like
And yeah, like
one year
that was my
after,
thing too.
1 year after, I'm pretty sure that the PS5 isn't worth like the price of admission, because you basically have a PlayStation 4 Pro.
Basically, well, here's the
Yeah.
thing. I had a 2015 PS4. So,
Yeah, that's the same as I. That's the reason why it's worth it for us, Lamb. But for most, it wasn't.
yeah.
Like and you got yours in January.
Yeah.
That's that. I would say for a PlayStation fan, that's probably that was like the right decision. I got mine at launch with Miles, and honestly,
Demon Souls and all those.
it's not that different. Like Miles on the PS5 and on the PS4.
Yeah, and like that was kind of my thing, was like kind of looking at the things they got, because now they're starting to get, like, you know, all those Xbox studios that they've been acquiring have slowly started to put out some games. Like
Yeah.
Infinite's multiplayer is pretty hot right now. I know the progression system isn't the best, but people are playing it, people are liking it for the most part. From every Halo person I've talked to that's played the Infinite campaign so far, they've loved it. And so, like, you have Halo Infinite coming in, you have Forza Horizon doing the same that it always does, always making that money, doing good work. And I'm kind of like looking at that, the Bethesda acquisition, and I'm like, I think we just witnessed the shift of power. Because, like,
If you
PlayStation's biggest
go,
thing forever was those exclusives, but now that Xbox is coming in with those, it's like,
the
I don't
thing
know
is,
if it-
you still have those exclusives on the PlayStation side, and they are coming like hotcakes next year. You have Sifu, you have
Yeah.
Gran Turismo, you have Horizon, you have God of War Ragnarok. Then you have one of the biggest exclusives that PlayStation could get was Wolverine. You have
I am so
Spider-
excited for Wolverine.
You have Spider-Man 2, and on the Xbox side, you do have those exclusives, but you can play them all on PC. So basically, what I'm saying is, if you get a good enough PC that costs as much as Xbox Series X, you will get a pretty nice treatment without having to like have a console. And on PlayStation, you don't have that chance, even if they are now coming with some PlayStation exclusives for PC. They are always like 3 years later.
yeah, I don't know, I was just thinking about it, and I thought it was interesting, because, like, yeah, there is those exclusives, but I was just kind of looking, thinking, and I think that we might have seen a shift right there, depending on
For
I
I think that
the cards.
for Microsoft, I wouldn't say necessarily for Xbox, but for Microsoft,
Yeah.
if we look at it as
Yeah, that's what I'm
Microsoft
thinking of.
Sony, if we say Microsoft Sony, then yes, I think we have, because we're gonna have Microsoft. If it goes on PC, in some form or fashion, it's Microsoft's dipping into that.
Yep.
So
There was when Bethesda was bought. I remember listening to some like industry journalists talking that it's impossible for Sony, if if we go by PlayStation and Xbox, we are talking about like it's possible that you will think like PlayStation is much bigger than Xbox, and that's true. But when you think about the money that Microsoft has
The parent companies have,
compared to Sony, that changes really fast.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to acquisitions like the one from Bethesda. And we talk about Bethesda, but they didn't acquire Bethesda. They acquired ZeniMax.
Yeah.
ZeniMax. That's Bethesda's parent company, but
And that's the thing that many didn't actually think about. Like Sony is always acquires studios. They don't have the money to acquire like big companies that have multiple studios.
for like billions of dollars.
Yeah, and like if we were talking about like movies, for instance, Sony movie department is hanging by a spider thread.
Who was that spider thread? Honestly,
Like the rest
I see what you did there.
The rest of the movies that Sony puts out, they die flat in the box office. They don't even make to the box office nowadays.
pretty much, yeah. What I was like, as we've been talking, it kind of reminds me of. You guys will remember this, but for younger
You're old.
viewers,
You are old. That's
for our younger viewers, there was once a time
Like Baby
where
Dot.
Netflix wasn't a streaming platform.
Exactly.
It was exclusively just DVDs and things like that. And it was
Yes,
like
he said DVDs.
Blockbuster,
He did say
Hollywood
DVDs.
Video. Yeah, DVDs. Yeah, DVD. Yeah. There were these discs that you had to put in there, like game discs, but it had movies on them.
What? That's science fiction.
I know, crazy concept. Wait until I tell you about VHS.
What's that? Does it smell good?
No, it smells like sadness and broken promises. But so
Cries over here in beta.
But so like my thing is that like, so for our younger viewers, Netflix wasn't always a streaming platform, and big companies like Hollywood Video, Blockbuster, and these places where you'd go to rent movies, these were the big places that you'd go, and that was the dominant option. At least here in America, I don't know how it was for you, Dot, but
Oh, we didn't have it like at all. We didn't have Netflix until like 2016.
oh no.
And when it came to Portugal, it was like the event of the century. It was like what? What? We Netflix? That's what the other people, the fancy people have.
The fancy people.
We don't have to use this like shittier version of like a Portuguese channel brand. What?
I'm still stuck on the fancy people, and then we cut to, we cut to me and Ben.
Exactly. We're the fancy people. We are fancy people.
You're fancy people with your HBO Maxes that we don't have.
I'm sorry. I can't hear you because I'm too fancy for you.
Your Hulus, your power.
Your language is beneath me.
Your power
language of poor people.
There are so many streaming services that we don't have in Portugal.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. It's really insane. From yours, we basically have Amazon, Netflix, and HBO, not Max.
Oh, but so I guess the point, like to make the point a little cleaner, the point I'm trying to make is that when these video stores were a thing, Netflix was kind of the new kid on the block, and so then Netflix decided to utilize streaming, and we all know how that worked out for Netflix.
Did it work?
Ended up, yeah, I mean, surprisingly enough, yeah. So it became the streaming giant.
So you pay a monthly fee, but you don't actually end up owning anything.
Right.
Yeah.
It's basically renting. For the price of renting
Yeah.
one movie, basically what
We
it,
rent all these movies.
yeah, or when it first came out, renting one movie. But
Yeah.
if for the price of renting 4 movies today, you get Netflix.
Yeah. And so, with, like, kind of comparing the two, I feel like Microsoft / Xbox is making that kind of move right now. Because I think we're slowly getting to that point where you can stream a game almost flawlessly. At least.
Microsoft for
Depending on
sure
where
is
you
doing
live.
that, yeah.
And
Have you
so,
heard the rumor about Project Spartacus?
remind me which one that is.
Okay, Project Spartacus is supposedly the answer of Sony to Microsoft's Game Pass.
Oh yeah, I
You will
had heard a
have-
little bit about that.
You will have 3 tiers. So the first tier is basically PlayStation Plus with the PlayStation Collection, the PlayStation Plus Collection, and a few other games. The second tier will give you that, Apple TV, and there was another thing there, and the third option, the premium tier, will have all of those plus PlayStation 1 and 2 games that they will add from time to time. Then, but those are just rumors, but supposedly it's launching this spring, and I think that's like way too soon. Like, what?
Oh yeah.
Well, maybe they've been planning it for a while.
Yeah, but
I
like,
mean, Game Pass has been around since what, 2017? 2018?
That sounds about right. Game Pass
So
Ultimate.
I feel like
Ultimate's
I
been
feel
around
like as
since,
soon as Game Pass came out and people were loving that, PlayStation could see that that was instant money for Xbox there.
oh, I
Well, we
don't
need to get in
think
on that.
so.
No, they wanted to
think
see
so.
how it lasted.
Yeah, they were like very against streaming to start with.
Yeah.
And they say that, but also you can, knowing businesses, you know that they're looking at what they're doing, they're clocking it.
They wanted to
And
see
they're
how it
like,
was going to do.
Just in case, how do we do this?
Yeah.
Because because think about how many patents they have for things that they'll never even use.
The thing that supports this rumor is that before the PS5 launched, they patented a technology that would allow them to stream games from the PS2 and PS3 and PS4. So on the PS5, so that's like one thing that actually might turn the rumor to be true.
Yeah, and I think they should honestly try something.
I don't think so. I know why it's like the popular easy thing, but I don't think so. I think I think that the industry will benefit if Sony did it. Like, probably Sony will benefit from it. But something that I admire about Nintendo is that Nintendo plays their own game. They don't care about anything else. They play what they want to play. Like, they don't care
Nintendo's
about
going to
graphics.
Nintendo.
They don't play about graphics. They don't even care about bad feedback. Like, everyone hated the last 2 Pokemon games, and they don't give up. They just don't care. They just don't care. And the thing is, I like that way of doing things. They know what is best for their company, So they will do it. If there are people that like it, okay. If there are people that don't like it, that's okay too. And the thing is, it's working. It's working. They gave us the most innovative console in the last like 20 years with the Switch. It's a handheld that is also a home console.
Yeah.
That's what. That's that in the 90s. That was the dream. A Game Boy that I can attach to my TV.
Yep.
What? And I think PlayStation would benefit from that. And if you go to PlayStation Records and you check their history on the subject of like new products other than PlayStation Plus, it's not that good. Like PS Vita, PS TV, the PlayStation. Like there are so many PlayStation Camera. There are so many Move. The only thing that actually works is maybe that doesn't give them money, but they still support it. It's PlayStation Now. But other than that, they dropped it very quickly.
Nerd Sound says that it's the first console he's bought in over a decade.
See, like now imagine if PlayStation would do like their own rules and just not follow what Xbox is doing, because PlayStation is a very reactive brand. Like if you go and see, like they screwed up the launch of the PS3 completely. Why? Because they were on top during the PlayStation 2. They screwed up as much as we like the console. They pretty much screwed up the launch of the PS5. Like, like come on, like the Xbox launch with such a better lineup state, and they don't have exclusives. Their first like big exclusive came out 1 year after their console launch, and still they got it better. It's pretty impressive what Xbox has been doing because of Game Pass. But what if PlayStation were like working on their new thing instead of
like PS5 is their red herring?
Yeah, PlayStation 5 is their PlayStation 3. Again, like Xbox will probably win this round, and they will kill it with the PlayStation 6.
Maybe.
And my thing is like, looking at Xbox, I wouldn't be surprised if Xbox becomes an app on your TV.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Game Pass does, the way that you have Netflix.
They were talking about that
Spotify.
before. They were totally talking about that before. They were planning on doing something like that because there was the rumor that it was going to be able to be it was going to be a brand available on your Switch.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that we will end up seeing something really crazy that is Xbox games on the PlayStation, because brands don't care about console wars. They care about money.
And they've said that
Exactly.
they've practically said that in Twitter posts to each other. Like, hey, good job. I love that we're doing. We don't need to fight about this. If you like this, use this. If you like this, use this. Just play games, which means just buy games, which means just send us money.
Like, for instance, me, I never played a single Xbox exclusive. Now I have a PC because I want to play Xbox exclusives because I'm a gamer, and gamers spend money.
Yeah.
But my thing is, like, if PlayStation doesn't have an answer for something as like ubiquitous as that potential of having just hooking up a Xbox controller to a TV, and that's it. You don't even have to buy anything from there. My thing would be, that's detrimental to PlayStation because they can't do the Nintendo approach in the way that Nintendo does. Because PlayStation, or hear me out, PlayStation goes for that same massive multiplayer audiences that Xbox goes for. The Call of Duty crowds. They have the Battlefield crowds, or, Fortnite crowds. Like, they're trying to go for all these people. The ones that are across every console, those massive third-party games.
How much would you be willing to spend on a PlayStation game?
How much would I be? Depends on the game.
I've spent $70.
I've spent $200 on a game before.
Oh, good lord, no! I would not be.
For a collector's edition, yeah, I've done that before.
Nope. I have a collector's edition Watch Dogs, and I think I paid $20 for it. That because I'm cheap guy.
I got a collector's edition for 15.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 15. But like,
what I was going to say is that everyone was like going crazy about the rise of prices, but like Miles Morales sold, like, it's the top 10, it's on the top 10 games sold this month again, 1 year after the game came out. It's the I think it's the second game to do that other than GTA that does that every single year. That's crazy. That's like, yeah, it's still $70, especially for the deluxe edition that brings 2 games. But yeah, PlayStation can do honestly what most brands can't do. They can play their own game, but they won't, because they are very like guys in suits making decisions.
yeah, but like, and what I was trying to get at though was, like, they can play their own game to a degree, and that's what they've been doing with all these exclusives. There's a reason why they keep making these single-player action-adventure, third-person, wonderfully written stories and so on and so forth, because that's what's been making them money. That's what's been winning them game awards and accolades. That's what the people seem to want. So that's why they've been doing that. But also, they're also wanting to get that multiplayer crowd in. And if Xbox keeps making these money moves, then I already know a few people that they're like, well, I have a PlayStation 4, but I might get a PlayStation 5. I'm definitely getting Game Pass for my PC, or Game Pass on my phone, or I'm getting an Xbox Series S.
But the thing is, we are at the start of new generation, and you didn't get a single good exclusive for the PS4 until the
2016 Uncharted.
I want to say a bit earlier with. No, I think it was. No, a bit earlier with.
I got the 20. I got the 20.
Bloodborne. They got the. They had the launch with Infamous, but they really weren't like playing the exclusive game until Bloodborne.
I agree.
And Bloodborne was such a surprise hit that the sequel never came out.
Yeah.
It's such a good game.
It's such a good game. But, like, I just worry, I guess, for the brand that I've put my entire life into. Like,
I don't
always
trust Jim Ryan at all. Like, he is making all the wrong decisions lately.
He's the Sony guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so like, cause I know this model of, hey, these massive games like God of War, Ghost, Last of Us, these games take half a decade at times,
Yep.
usually actually, to come to fruition. Like after Infamous First Light, Sucker Punch has been working on Ghost that entire time.
Yeah.
So,
7 years.
2013? Yeah, 7 years.
It took them 7 years from the start of even the initial concept of Ghost of Tsushima until the release. It was 7 years.
Wow.
And Ghost and God of War had 8. Let's see. It was
The reason it's going to be a duology is because Cory Barlog didn't want them to be working on a trilogy for 20 years. He said that,
yeah,
which
because
is
he knows that's how it works. Because when you get games this massive, this detailed, this beautiful, like, and these stories so in depth, that takes time. Surprise, surprise. You have to take time to animate all those worlds you're going to.
and that's the reason why we are seeing them releasing on other platforms as a way to get money back. Imagine spending 7 years making how much, no matter how much money.
Yeah, like spending 8 years making God of War, only for it to like it sold very well.
Yeah,
It broke records at the time it came out, but that still
Yeah.
doesn't entirely recoup that cost. So that's why they're releasing it on PC, and I get that.
actually, maybe that was a bad example because God of War made back his cost, his budget by 3 times.
Oh wow.
Okay, so
Days Gone, for instance. Days Gone is probably a very good example of a game that
Days Gone's
it
a very
sold
good example
well.
of that then.
It sold well, but it didn't sold that well.
And that's why it was canceled. Because that's also part of the problem that worries me with this is that unless you have lightning in a bottle with something like Ghost, your IP has a one shot or it's bust
Yep.
with this kind of approach. So it's like something like Days Gone. I would have loved a Days Gone 2, where they polish it up, you know, tweak out some of those bugs, kind of tune everything up a little bit. I bet a Days Gone 2 would have been a fantastic game.
Yep.
Because the Days Gone 1 wasn't a bad game. But
On the contrary, it was like on my list for favorite game of that year.
I haven't
And
finished it.
2019 was such a good year for gaming.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though,
2018
is that
was the best.
2018 was a fantastic year, so was 2017. That's part of the point I was driving to is that because of the way they build these and how long they take, and how fast the gaming world's going. Because 2017, you know, we had Horizon, we also had Breath of the Wild. 2018, we had Spider-Man, God of War. You know, like you keep going through the years, there's all these great games. And the problem is that if you get a Days Gone where they don't even like fall over, they just stumble like once.
Yeah.
They're out of that race. They're done. So I don't know how we go about or how they would, I guess, go about working the model so it's a little more reflexive and able to work.
Huh. I do not know.
But I just don't know how they need to go about it. But I heard, I guess this is an idea because I heard a rumor once that they were talking about doing a smaller than a Miles Morales style of adventure for Uncharted. And maybe it's just me and growing up with Indiana Jones and things like that, but I would love one of those, like once every 2 years kind of thing. Just
So
real small.
do any of you watch the or listen to the podcast, the Lana Pierce podcast with
Oh,
Play Watch Listen?
I
yeah,
do
play,
not.
watch, listen. Yeah.
Okay, in one of the latest episodes, um, Mike Whittle told um, the audience that he had a problem with Sony because he said something during one of the episodes that it wasn't supposed to be public, and since Alana Pierce is part of the God of War team, they wanted to know, and he was just guessing. And I'm pretty sure I know what he guessed right. That God of War Ragnarok is an half step, is not a full sequel. It's he said that God of War Ragnarok is before even the newest trailer is like this like half step, like really well done improvement, but still not a fully fledged sequel.
Right.
And I think we are going kind of like Miles, but longer. Instead of like having the same mechanics, but different story, different lore, different whatever. And I think he's probably right on that aspect, and we will end up seeing more of those, like what we are seeing now with the director's cuts. We will see more of those, more like half steps, new DLC, new version, stuff that we are seeing for decades in the movies, like director's cut, of making of videos, stuff like that that will satiate fans, but not like be a huge waste of money, a huge waste. So yeah, I think we will end up with more like those.
And provided PlayStation, patches up their relationship with indies, I think that could also be a great spot.
They are this week they made an announcement about it. It's not even a rumor. They actually confirmed that they are like they regret the way they treated indies in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so my thing with their announcement is like, yes, they announced that and they said that publicly, but there's a difference between talking and doing. Because like, you'll have games like Cyberpunk, where they'll talk to you about how great that game was and how great that game will be on launch. But what they did at launch was very on the contrary to what they told you. And I don't know if, like, I mean, I would like to see PlayStation make steps to that first before going about actually trusting them on that subject, because them and indies have had a very tumultuous relationship throughout their popularity, and so I would like to see some more proof in the pudding, I guess. But and I would also like to see them do some, like, go out on that limb a little bit more with those exclusives, like how Xbox picked up the Oxenfree studio. I can't remember their name.
Oh, yeah,
They
I
did
know what you're
Oxenfree. They did After Party, like just a little indie developer. Like, I would like to see PlayStation doing more games in that vein that aren't like the quadruple A at this point.
But that's what the other guy, the original PlayStation guy, I
Shuhei
don't-
Yoshida?
No, the Uh, the American one with the
John
big
Layden?
belly, John Layden, yeah. He was talking about that during a E3 conference, and that I don't remember the name of the game. It wasn't like a mainstream game, but it's a PlayStation game that really incorporates the PlayStation innovation brand and the core values, and like it's not the company that it's nowadays. PlayStation. By the way, Lamb,
Yeah.
how was your week?
We are way past it. We are way past that, dude.
Might as well just do it to end off the show, right? Just talk about your week for like half an hour, and then it'll be time to go.
No, because they're
Tune next week as we talk about NFTs.
Before you joined the
yeah, dude. You think you joke, but
I heard him. I just couldn't give any of my mics to it.
because I wish we could talk about NFTs in I want to say
30
healthy,
minutes?
in a healthy way.
I
No, I don't.
I want to
know.
talk. I want to talk about it in an educated way. I have no idea.
I've got a pretty good idea, but give me the week and I'll come in and I'll be like, alright,
I'm planning on doing a NFT centric episode on OSNAP next year, where I get a person who is in favor of NFTs and a person who's against NFTs, and let them fight.
No, not on the same show. Not on the same show.
Oh,
Don out here
that would be interesting.
putting a red ant and a black ant in a jar and shaking the jar.
Well, but I think it would be interesting, and OSNAP is very much a show about virtual photography and how the virtual photography can impact some things. And I think NFTs are the opposite. They are impacting virtual photography.
So, week one, give it to us.
So this week it's been an interesting week. On the life side, being an adult sucks. I quit. Pretty much that was that was it this week, Z. I saw a counselor person about the ADHD and thought I was gonna get some sort of diagnosis or whatever that day. Nope. It's just it's a it was like an interview type deal. So just to get to know me a little bit and get some preliminary information down. I have homework. They gave a guy with potentially having ADHD homework.
Yeah, it'll tell them a lot.
I know the homework will tell them a lot. But they gave me homework, y'all. What?
And you didn't do it because it's ADHD.
It's like I got the hardest part done. I started with the hardest part. And that's interviewing my parents about me as a kid. So there's questions that they ask, and
That sounds awful.
yeah, my parents they're not necessarily the ADHD doesn't exist people. They are more of the ADHD exists. I don't know if you've got that though.
There are people that say it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, there's anti-vaxxers in this world. Of course, there's people that deny the existence of ADHD.
Yeah. So
different strokes. Like one is man created and another is biology.
And I'm saying that what I was trying to say with that was that there's people that will deny something all the time.
Oh yeah.
Like
Okay.
whether it's religion, people landed on the moon, whatever you want to go down.
Yeah.
ADHD is just the most recent thing, I guess.
Z says you're just bubbling over with positive energy. I don't think you have ADHD. So we went through that, and
It pains me that you have to go through that. Like that someone will question a condition that you might have. But people that aren't professionals
yeah.
are questioning.
And and they didn't necessarily say that. It's just in the moment I could tell the tone of it, you know.
Yeah. And
So
I have ADHD and I still get that too. Just like
yeah.
Just like I don't know, and I'm like, no, it's been diagnosed.
No, it's a thing.
It's a thing. But so you did your homework.
So I talked to my parents about my homework. Then I have one. I have to also do a assessment with my wife on this. She doesn't like this stuff. She just doesn't like it. She doesn't not necessarily that she's against it or doesn't believe it or anything. Like she doesn't have the time to sit down and do this. She's just so busy. She's just super busy. It's just like a can of soda. If you shake it up and down, it'll fizz over and spray everything. Doesn't mean that can has ADHD. Same with you. Z bringing Mountain Dew logic into the conversation.
As any true gamer would.
So I have that. I have a part of that I have to fill out for myself. But I know my friend Lucas, those of you that have joined us on the G3 channel, God Games and G3 channel, know my friend Lucas. I knew that him and my friend Alex, who you've seen in here, I Am Balmer, would call and ask what happened. I'm just telling you, we love you just the way you are, you massive jumble of happy. Oh, Z. Where was I? Oh yeah. I knew that Lucas and Alex would want to know things, and right away, as soon as I got back to the office, Lucas is in my office asking me questions, and and as soon as I got home, Alex gave me a call. I knew it, and so I asked. I said, "Hey, I know it's not a diagnosis, but can you give me anything to tell these guys?" And she was like, "We still have a lot of testing to do, or we still have some discussion to have, but you are definitely showing some signs."
I could have told you that.
And the way she said it was like, "Don't you already have your answer?" This is just a formality, guy.
Pretty much. You're paying them for the formality.
And this is so your doctor can write your prescription, which I'm scared of. If I'm honest, I'm scared of it. I think I've discussed this already. I'm scared of potentially having to do meds, because I know that people say that they help put the put the orchestra together. All the orchestras sounds great by themselves, but you put them together, they're not playing together. And this helps put the orchestra together. Because you're concentrating on the violin, and the drum is doing great, but it's not going along with the timpanis are not going along with the violin. So anyway.
And the trumpet is over there doing a solo to who knows what.
Exactly. So, I'm
afraid that it's not going to be you if you take them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's like part of it's going to be figuring out the dosage, and then another part's going to be figuring out how, like, which ones, like, which
Yeah.
options right for you.
Yeah.
And maybe it's like, and just seeing how you feel on all those, basically. I don't think that you'll be, and like, that was my biggest fear, is that it's like, oh, hey, look, you take the, like, if you take medication and all, you're not going to be you. It's like when you take heart medication, or how you take insulin.
Yeah.
You, just because you're not, like, you need that medication doesn't mean that you're not going to be you. It's just your body needs a little help in this regard. And so doing that can help tighten those loose bands and all that.
Yeah. So, that happened
terrifying.
this week. It still is terrifying, and I think one of the probably the most terrifying things is the realization of, guys, I'm in my mid-40s.
You are that old?
Shut up, kid.
I wasn't gonna say that. Please don't fire me, man.
And I think one of the worst realizations is if I do end up being more productive and a better limb.
What?
What?
Is that possible? For
Yes.
you to be a writer, lad?
Yes, absolutely there is.
Aren't you already, like, a god?
Nah, dog. But what would have happened if I knew this 10 years ago? Where would I be today if I knew this 10 years ago?
And I think that's a dangerous road to go down, because that leads down to a bunch of regrets and things like that, of like, oh, if only I'd known that sooner.
Yeah.
And that, this and that. When you can't do anything to change that, it's just, you're just making yourself feel bad for something that you weren't ready to do, honestly. Because if you were ready to go do all that stuff later, like earlier in life, you would have done it already. Like if you were ready to go get screened for ADHD or something like that, you would have done it sooner, but you weren't ready at that time. And so there's no point in thinking, oh, what could have been, because there was, like, you weren't in that mind frame, in that mindset, that ability to properly go do that. And maybe if you had done it while you were younger, maybe they would have misdiagnosed you. I had a
Which is very likely, because ADHD is very, like, newish.
Yeah, it's
Well,
one that's still trying
actually,
to figure out.
hold on. I just learned a bunch because they sent me to this YouTube channel that I'm now subscribed to. The concepts and the signs of ADHD date back to the 1700s.
Mm-hmm.
And how it's on the spectrum now is pretty new. But people have been starting to treatment for it since the mid 1900s, I think.
Sounds about right.
Oh,
think-
that's. Thank you for teaching me that.
Yeah.
Didn't
That's
know.
really cool.
Yeah, I just learned, so it's not like I'm
Yeah.
that I'm not being that guy. But it's just, I was like,
Actually, what you're saying.
I'm able to,
wrong.
I'm actually able to provide some kind of information and some knowledge and stuff like that. It's like, that's exciting to me, for me to actually feel like I can contribute positively in that way.
Yeah. You should send me that YouTube channel. I'm interested.
Yeah, if anybody's interested here, I'll look it up. But it is How to ADHD.
How to ADHD.
Yeah.
But going back to that neighbor, though, he's about your age, and they tried to, they misdiagnosed him, 4 or 5 times with other things other than ADHD, and I think it was about 6 years ago they finally diagnosed him properly. So like they thought at a point that he had like manic episodes because of how severe his ADHD was and things like that. But no, it was just ADHD in a very powerful, potent, scary form. But so maybe you would have just been misdiagnosed before if you hadn't even gone sooner.
That's very likely.
Yeah.
So
I think
I got
the
the channel on screen right now, you guys. It's How to ADHD. The reason I'm here is because I am trying to find how do I send the whole thing in Discord. Oh, I could copy the freaking link.
Okay, I was gonna say you can do that, or you can just share a video and we can go from there. But,
There you guys go.
yeah, I think the fact that you just went at all and that you're trying to make those steps is all that is really important there. Is that you looked at it and you're like, oh hey, this is something that I want to try to work on, I want to be better at, so I'm going to go try to get that worked through.
Yeah.
It's like going to the therapy when you're depressed, or if you need to work out something there, or going to the gym if you need to work out there. It's just working on something in your life that needs a little help.
Oh wow.
And it's never going to like change your entire life and way of being in a single session. It's an ongoing process.
Yeah, the way I like to equate it to is trying to wrestle with things like that. It's kind of like going to therapy / AA every week, where it's like, hey, I know I have this problem, and we're going to take it week by week, day by day, and you're like talking to other people that have it, learning experiences through them, going to other people that, like the professionals that have some answers for you, some guidance.
Conrad's here. How to ADHD. I love her. I just found her because my doctor prescribed her to me, if you will.
I need you to watch 40 cc's of this video stat.
Yo, I just found one. Being ADHD in black. I think that's the one I should have started with. All right, let's.
But it is kind of scary when you think about it. Like, how many cases have you heard that have been diagnosed in the last year alone? It's very scary when you think like how many people had the same experience as what Ben was saying, that they were misdiagnosed during years and years and years, and now they don't know what they have because they are still misdiagnosed.
Yeah.
That actually reminds me of my own story getting diagnosed. So because I had such a hard time with early on in school and things like that, they actually thought I was autistic initially. And so they started trying to figure out things that way, and that I was on that spectrum. And then as I got older and all that, they could ask me more and more focused questions, and they were actually like, oh, you know what? Actually, you don't have autism, you just have ADHD. Surprise, surprise. And I'm like, oh, cool.
Yeah,
I really thought you were going to say you're not autistic, you're just a third. You're just a horrible person.
You knew that already. I'm the king of the trash pile.
maybe a little bit of both. Just.
But yeah, so it's a hard one to pin down, but modern medicine is getting a lot better at pinning it down. You know what to look for. Mom and dad clocks from minute one, you know. Cause first thing I did was peed on Dad. He cut the umbilical cord, I peed on him. That was the first thing I did.
You cut my feeding tube.
Exactly, I wasn't happy. So yeah, like, since I got out of the womb, I've been a monster. So there's no helping that.
Third day, I knew my oldest daughter, she projectile pooped on me.
Wow. That's
You
why
add the word projectile makes it scary.
that's why I never want to be a father. Like, how is that a pleasant experience?
It was not.
That's the thing.
Yeah, so there was that. I did some I did some Fuser this week. The new Fortnite map. Oh my gosh, I've been loving Fortnite recently. I'm getting a lot more photos, but believe it or not, I'm playing it more than shooting it.
Interesting, I had the exact opposite
You
experience
are
with Hellblade.
playing. Wait. You are playing Fortnite?
Yeah, I'm actually playing it.
Are you 10?
No, I have. Here's the thing. I have such a wide array of friends that play this game from all different backgrounds and all different just livelihoods and all that stuff. Like at different ages, and it's just so awesome that I get to hang out with them. And we just happen to be playing Fortnite. It was like last night. I was playing with Zoltar and Chad, who's Bear the Hairless, and Jen. And seriously, it was about just hanging out. Like, we would occasionally shoot folks, but it was really about the hang. And that's what I'm finding with the folks that I play Fortnite with, is the majority of us are not sweaty players. We just like to hang out.
The majority not counting with you, right?
I'll say, we did just see that video of you on, what was it, Twitter?
Yeah, I
Getting all
recently. Okay, I've noticed this. A lot of my friends that I have played with were sweatier, and then I started playing with them, and now they're less sweaty. However, I am.
You took all the stuff.
I took all the
You
sweat.
sopped it up.
I started playing with Shamal Finesse, who is an amazing guy. He's like a little brother to me, and he.
Otherland, another. Really?
Yes.
You are collecting little brothers. That's a bit creepy.
Yeah, it's like Batman.
Are you putting them in tights as well? Because now I'm concerned.
I am not. They do.
Okay.
However, they do get to
I was
choose.
gonna ask where mine were.
They, they get to choose their own Fortnite skins. So.
All right, fair enough.
So. What was I saying? Oh
Are
yes.
you talking?
Yeah. I was playing. So I've been playing some Fortnite. I played Immortals: Phoenix Rising. Actually played it. I have
I
taken
need to actually play the game.
maybe 3 to 4 pictures over the past 2 weeks with that game.
Wow.
I'm actually playing through it. So I am the knight. Fear me and my camera. What's up? It's another little brother popping out in here. He definitely gets to choose his own skin. I am not choosing anything for Paul.
And you have multiple people using the same skin
Yes.
on Fortnite
Yes.
Yeah.
We've
in
seen.
a single game.
Yes.
So, is the last week of Fortnite basically into the Spider-Verse?
Yes. Here's the thing. There is an emote that you can get that does
put
the
on a
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man mask, right?
Well, no, not just that. I'm saying you can put on Spider-Man gloves, but there's an emote that you can get that does the Spider-Man point me.
Oh,
So, so you can have like a lobby of all Sparkle mains pointing at each other like, you,
that would be
it's
perfect.
you.
Yo.
It's
That's
so
wonderful.
good. It's so good. That's there are people that take this game super seriously, and then there's most of my crew.
10-year-old kids, yeah. I know about those 10-year-olds.
Man, God's just really focused on the 10-year-olds today.
Yeah, that's creepy.
I don't want him to come beat me up. Actually, that means he'd have to come to the States, so Doc, get over here.
I am going to the States in February. I scheduled my trip and I booked my hotel.
Where are you going? Where are you going?
San Francisco.
So nowhere near
So-
us.
If you go to this place, it's a little further east back. It's called Salt Lake City. You can go ahead and stop there. I will buy you whatever food and whining and dining you want, my friend.
How far away from San Fran is it?
It's a ways.
Like, it's a ways. You're a few.
Okay.
It's like a fourth of the country.
Oh no, I'm not going there, my friend. Sorry.
I mean, and if you're making it to Salt Lake,
Well, I mean, it is Salt Lake, so
Like I consider renting a car and going to and trying to check if Santa Monica would allow me to visit their studio.
oh,
And it's a 6-hour drive, and it's already nah.
yep.
California's a massive.
Yeah, that's a
state.
massive state, dude.
It's basically the entire West Coast, so yeah. Even though they're in the same state, you're like, oh, that shouldn't be too far. And then you're like, oh no.
Like going on plane is it's out of the question, not because of the prices, because the prices are actually fine. I was really surprised because traveling inside the US is much cheaper than traveling around Europe.
Is it really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's because you don't have to pay for extra passport people or customs and things like that.
And
Like within the internal US.
and then I like know because of COVID the whole like the world is ending, so we can't allow you to go on this plane without like a gazillion tests.
Yeah.
So
Prepare
yeah.
your nose.
Yeah.
So yeah,
prepare your brain.
I saw various options, but all of them are more trouble than they are worth visiting the studio. And I'm saying this as a massive fan of God of War.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But that's exciting.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, dude.
Get to see our backwater country finally. That should be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Actually, sorry, we're the fancy people. I forgot.
Oh yeah. Fancy
See our
folks.
gloriously fancy country. Oh. Sorry, I know you guys couldn't see it, but I had 4 pinkies up. And the That's how fancy I am right now. Both my pinkies were up, and then my pinky toes were also up.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure if I was any fancier, a golden crusted corgi would come and bring me my food for lunch. Just kidding, I wouldn't do that to a corgi.
Golden crusted corgi.
It's a vivid mind picture that you won't be able to get rid of for at least 5 more minutes.
Nope. But yeah, so that was pretty much my week. Oh no!
Oh, NFT. Okay.
Yesterday,
Okay.
I was on the Super Murgatroyd show. Now, if you guys don't know who Super Murgatroyd is, it was the reindeer games. He had, I want to say, like 90 different streamers on.
Oh wow.
and we were
Whoa.
putting us up in these random games and stuff like that. And it's a great way to meet new streamers, and it was I met some cool people, and there was one guy who was the only one that claimed to be a family friendly streamer. He's a mod for Super, and I said. And I mentioned to him while we were introducing ourselves in the after party, I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm also a family-friendly streamer." He's like, "Wait a second, you're a family-friendly streamer, so we're gonna hang out." Also plays a string instrument, and something about string instruments and family-friendly
Slim
streamers.
found his twin.
So I met some folks again that play Fortnite. I'm not sure how sweaty they are, but and then our friend Darth Kryptonite was on there as well. So that was
Awesome.
Pretty, yeah, pretty.
That sounds really cool though.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I need to take some steps on this. So yeah, that was
NFTs.
my thing. We are sadly we are out of time.
Justin,
I'm sorry. Yeah, we are out of time. I have to go to my my newly found nerdy nephew's birthday party. So I was not aware how much of a geek
that you
this
had
kid
a
is.
nephew?
Funny
That
story.
doesn't exist.
Funny story. My youngest niece, for the first 3 months of her life, I didn't know her name.
Oh,
We never see each other, like, but yeah, I didn't know her name. My youngest niece.
I have 15 nephews left. There are some nephews that I never met.
huh. I don't have any nephews.
I don't want to be that guy, but you're not missing on much.
I mean, that's fair. Having nephews means you have to deal with boisterous boys.
Oh, 1 second.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, Mama. All right, my wife was like, "Don't forget the party starts at 1." I was like, "No." So we're just
Oh, you better get going then.
we're just getting out of here. Yeah, I don't like to show up to a party early.
Well, I mean, there's showing up to a party early, and then knowing you, Len, you're gonna have to take a minute to get ready.
I showered already this morning. I showered.
done.
Yeah.
That's nasty. You showered?
Yeah, man.
Disgusting.
How
The
dare
blood
I?
of his enemies.
Ah,
10-year-old boys on
fear me.
Fortnite.
Fear me, 10-year-old.
10-year-old. Alright, I feel like we're about to get. Oh, actually, this isn't YouTube. We're not getting demonetized.
Yeah.
We're getting a. What do they call it on Twitch? Strike?
A strike.
Takedown? Yeah, strike. I feel like we're about to get our first strike.
All right, you guys. That's gonna do it. Hey, Dot.Pwn, where can they find you?
Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, social media at .com.
Ben, where can they find you?
I'm gonna pull a dot and say, Google me.
I stopped doing that because I said it on national TV and I started.
I know
like,
you
no.
did. Well, I mean, if the shoe fit, my friend.
Yeah, but I got to say it on national TV. You only say it on this show.
Yeah. With all
Yeah.
with all 15
It's
folks.
because you're more successful than I am. That's the long and the short of it.
Yeah, pretty much.
And never forget about it.
Ah! I don't think you'd let us. And, and you can find me right here. Well, no, seriously, where can they find you?
So you can find me Arkham Lover 14 on Twitter and the Discord. Maybe on Twitch, we'll see. Life's been a little hectic lately with life. I'm trying.
Right.
All right, guys.
I'm trying.
There's the Discord. There's where you can find me. Also, just real quick, Shill.
There's some cool stuff.
There's some merch. We're also an Epic Store affiliate person, ambassador. Go do the thing.
Yeah. Also Patreon.
Oh, and Patreon. Patreon, you've seen me start working on your coloring pages. Right here. Because the new level, with the tier 3 level of Patreon, you now get coloring pages. Why? Because that's what I'm into right now.
That's where the dopamine said to go.
Yep, that's exactly it. The dopamine said we're doing coloring pages. We're doing coloring pages.
And then also sub on Twitch. Gift sub on Twitch.
Yes.
If you have Prime Gaming, remember every month to renew that sub on Twitch.
Yeah. Do the thing.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody for hanging out.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nerd Sub. Nerd Sounds for subbing or gifting that sub to Paul.
Sorry to subject you to all of us. I feel like we're kind of like a herd of meth cats without Rachel here.
Yeah. I mean, we say when she's here that we're still uncontrolled, but now you actually see. All we did was talk about our week for 2 hours.
I mean technically,
PlayStation versus PlayStation versus Microsoft isn't really our week, but yeah.
Yeah, I would say through the power of ADHD, we made some segues in there. But yeah, just being our weeks for the most part.
All right, Bad Gamers Unite. Gametographers keep on snapping. Peace. Bye, everybody. We love you. I'll see you at the birthday party. Maybe.